Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive on the Explainer. Today we're doing something a little different. We are totally transforming our space into an interactive classroom. We're going to get hands-on with a really fascinating piece of early education curriculum from Crimson Grove. Specifically, we're looking at Lesson 3, the O sound, an elementary education phonics exploration. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or honestly just someone who's kind of fascinated by the building blocks of language and how our brains actually learn to read, this is going to be incredibly insightful. We're going to break down exactly how this curriculum structures phonetic learning to make it super engaging and effective for young minds.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right at the very top of the lesson, they introduce this daily affirmation. And, it's front and center for a very good reason. By having students declare, "I learn new sounds and become a stronger reader every day," the Crimson Grove curriculum just immediately sets this really positive, empowering tone for the whole learning journey. It completely shifts the focus from just mechanically memorizing letters to actively building a stronger self-identity as a reader. It's absolutely brilliant, a fantastic psychological hook before the technical learning even begins.
Think of this as our classroom chalkboard for today. Here's our roadmap. First, we'll meet the O sound. Then, we'll explore some featured words. After that, we'll see how those words spark stories, discover how practice makes outstanding readers, and finally, wrap it all up with the Phonics Activity Challenge.
Section 1. Meet the O sound. Let's unlock a fun new linguistic puzzle together.
So this is where they define the core mechanics brilliantly for early learners. It introduces this concept of a vowel team. It basically explains that the letters O and E team up, they work together to make just one sound, which is usually the long O sound. The lesson actually prompts the classroom to practice this aloud together, and I'm going to invite you to do the exact same thing wherever you are right now. Seriously, let's try it together. OE says O, O, O. It's such a simple, repetitive auditory cue, but it works like a charm to anchor those visual letters to the spoken sound.
What really anchors this technical phonetic rule, though, is the overarching learning theme. They explicitly tie the act of learning these new sounds to personal growth. In their Character Corner section, they go out of their way to highlight the value of persistence. They remind students that outstanding readers keep learning even when new words seem challenging. It's this gentle, really necessary reminder that, hey, struggling a bit is just a normal part of growing stronger.
Section 2. Exploring featured O words. Let's apply our newly learned rule.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how carefully they structure this vocabulary. It's tiered. In that first column, we have our simple foundational words. Words like toe, ho, do, and fo. But then, they also fold in slightly more complex visual words that still use the team, like oboe, canoe, and shoe. Then, look over at the second column. The curriculum actually includes a specific teacher's note, pointing out that in longer words like potatoes and heroes, the O and E actually sit across syllables, rather than acting as a strict single-syllable vowel team. They advise focusing on the simpler column first for younger learners. It really shows a thoughtful, scaffolded approach to building vocabulary.
Moving right along to Section 3. Sentences to spark stories. Let's see how this vocabulary becomes the foundation of storytelling.
This part is absolutely vital because it moves the student from just looking at isolated words directly into full context. Just look at these featured sentences drawn right from the lesson. The doe walked quietly through the forest. The children paddled a canoe across the lake. The musician played the oboe beautifully. See, they aren't just dry, boring syntax exercises. They're specifically designed to paint vivid, imaginative pictures in the reader's mind. It completely transforms a mechanical decoding task into a really fun, imaginative experience.
Section 4. Practice makes outstanding readers. I want you to mentally step into the classroom with me right now for some active participation. The source material maps out this very specific sequence of practice exercises, which is essentially an exciting multi-step workout for outstanding readers. First up, read the words aloud to build verbal fluency. Next, circle the O word among other similar-looking words that test visual recognition. Then, fill in the missing letters, literally shifting the brain into spelling and writing mode. And finally, complete the sentences, which tests reading comprehension. It really is a full-circle educational workout.
Section 5. The Phonics Activity Challenge. Let's move to this and see how this builds into something totally interactive. All right, get ready to test your own rapid-fire recognition. Mimicking exercise 3 from the text, I challenge you to quickly, just in your head, fill in these blanks. We have a T, an H,
a D, an SH, and a CAN. Come on, apply that vowel team we've been talking about. What do you get?
Boom! Here they are. Toe, ho, do, shoe, and canoe. Excellent job applying the rule there. Seriously, celebrating these quick, little wins is exactly how this curriculum builds that persistence and confidence we talked about earlier.
Let's do one final rapid-fire gamified question. This one is pulled straight from Exercise 5 to test your reading comprehension in context. Ready? Complete this sentence. We crossed the river in a blank. And your options are canoe or bus.
So the crucial point is, the answer is canoe. Obviously, right? Not only does it fit the context of crossing a river perfectly, but it also reinforces our target phonics sound for the day. Engaging with this material step by step, from isolated sounds all the way to full sentences, is exactly what makes us all stronger readers.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a quick look ahead. The Crimson Grove curriculum uses a choggy or curriculum suggestion to tease upcoming lessons. Just looking at this list, from the A sound to ow to the oo sound, it makes you realize just how many hidden codes we had to crack to become fluent readers ourselves. It's kind of wild to think about. So, which of these phonetic puzzles do you think is the absolute trickiest for the human brain to conquer? Thank you so much for joining me today to explore the building blocks of literacy. And hey, keep learning new sounds every day.